Many of you have seen Matt Walsh's documentary entitled, What is a Woman? As I expected, Mr. Walsh was not able to get a clear answer from the transgender activists he interviewed for the documentary. The purpose of this video is to prove what the definition of a woman as well as a man has to be. For the record, in this video, when I use the word woman, I'm only referring to an adult human being of the female sex. So first, let's consider what it means to define a word, or to define a thing. To define a thing is to determine or fix the boundaries or extent of the thing you're defining. In the present case, we are defining a word, more specifically a noun. Therefore, the boundaries we are fixing are related to the qualities of the thing or things to be included in the definition of the word. In other words, we are limiting the qualities for the thing that can be identified with the word woman. Like most people, I learned how to define words in elementary school. The most important rule I learned was that when defining a word, one cannot use that same word within the definition. For example, you can't define the word apple by saying it refers to anything that is an apple. To do so would negate defining the word at all. Therefore, when a proponent of transgenderism claims a woman is any person that identifies as a woman, they are doing two things. First of all, they are not providing a definition at all for the word woman. Secondly, they are attempting to change the principle for how words are defined, whereby words lose their meaning. Now, let's move on to the wisdom of G.K. Chesterton. In his 1908 book entitled Orthodoxy, Chesterton wrote the following about the attack on thought by progressives. Apparently they were a problem even back then. He gave the example of H.G. Wells, when H.G. Wells once insisted that every separate thing is unique and there are no categories at all. Mr. Chesterton wrote, and I quote, "Thinking means connecting things and stops if they cannot be connected. It need hardly be said that this skepticism forbidding thought necessarily forbids speech. A man cannot open his mouth without contradicting it. Thus, when Mr. Wells says all chairs are quite different, he utters not merely a misstatement, but a contradiction in terms. If all chairs were quite different, you could not call them all chairs." G.K. Chesterton's logic makes absolute sense because that's how language works. If we come up with a new word, it means nothing until we define it. When a word is defined, not only does the word now refer to a specific thing, it also now excludes all other things. Therefore, the definition of the word woman must exclude men. If men are not excluded, then all human beings are included, and therefore a woman would be synonymous with human being, which of course is a more general term and does not specify a person's sex. If society decides the word square now refers to a shape that has either 3 or 4 equal sides, and the word triangle now also refers to a shape that has 3 or 4 equal sides, then the words square and triangle have become synonyms as well as useless words. So when a transgender activist says some women have vaginas and some women have penises, it's not just an accurate statement, but a contradiction in terms. If the word woman doesn't refer to a specific category of people that all share an exclusive group of physical characteristics, you could not call them all women. In other words, if some women have vaginas and some have penises, and some men have penises and some have vaginas, the words women and men have canceled each other out. Both words have been rendered a synonym for the more general term human being, since some human beings have a penis and some have a vagina. You might as well remove the words man and woman from the English language and simply refer to every person as a human being. Of course, this creates a serious problem. Now we no longer have a word for an adult human female nor an adult human male. We have two options. We can either stick with the traditional definitions of a man and a woman, or we can invent new words. Either way, we will, out of necessity, continue to have two classifications that do not include transgender people. Finally, it must be pointed out that the beliefs of transgender activists do, in fact, demonstrate that they are actually in complete agreement with the historical established definitions of both woman and man. This is because a transgender woman identifies as a woman and a transgender man identifies as a man. Both try their best to imitate the physical characteristics of a man or a woman. They usually start with their appearance, like their hairstyle and dress. Ironically, what is considered masculine or feminine hairstyles and dress really are social constructs, and yet they claim to hate social constructs. After the change in appearance, he or she will seek medical intervention in the form of hormone manipulation by taking prescribed pharmaceutical drugs. They know exactly what they are trying to imitate. A transgender man knows a real man is supposed to have high testosterone and low estrogen, so that is what she imitates. A transgender woman knows a real woman is supposed to have high estrogen and low testosterone, so that is what he imitates. In other words, transgender activists know exactly what a real man and a real woman are, because those are the exact goals they are striving to achieve. The bottom line is that for the words woman and man to have any meaning, each can only mean one thing and one thing only. A woman can only be an adult female human being, and the man can only be an adult male human being. That does it for this video. If you've gotten value from this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss one of my brand new videos. If you'd like to support the channel, you can find my locals link in the video's description. Thanks for watching.